friends. This is not a snow day. Day 60. Wow. Yeah, that's a thing. So we have been sheltering in place for 60 days here in southeastern Michigan. I know some places are opening, some people are opening and then closing really quick. There's a lot of conversations about that. I wanna talk today a little bit about the topic of sheltering in place and the concept of shelter. Before I do that, I want to remind you to please subscribe down below so you get alerts whenever I post new content. If you like this video, if it resonates with you, there's a couple things you can do. You can comment and let me know so I can keep working on that path and getting content that means something to you. You can share this on your social media feeds, pass along, drop it in an email to people. I love to hear that something that worked for you might work for somebody else as well. And then the thumbs up, it's always nice because, you know, I'm sheltered in place and any encouragement certainly helps. So the concept of sheltering in place, and I came across two bits of media that really triggered this for me. One was a really well-written piece about nostalgia that was in Sports Illustrated. My buddy Mike sent it to me about a guy who was sheltering in place while sheltering in place, and he was hiding in his basement going through his old sports cards. And I think we'll talk a little bit more about that piece and some thoughts I had in other episodes. But this one, he talked about sheltering in place while sheltering in place. And then I saw a bunch of social media posts from parents about people building forts. And it triggered me that my youngest, I saw it, but I didn't think about it, has converted her closet into kind of a little bit of a hideaway. She put some pillows in there and some blankets, and she put up some fairy lights and a curtain. And so she's got this own little private space, and it's super cramped and it's super cute. I thought, why is that? Why is that? So I think what's happening is that we're really locked into a small world, and it really probably feels like other people are on top of us and we don't have any control over our space. And so what I wanted to try to do was just bring some alertness to us about our needs for a little bit of our own space, even those hyper extroverts who are out there. So first one, as a teacher, we sometimes know that young kids just need a little space. I think part of the stigma around education is like, oh, they sent that kid to the hall, or he got sent out of class. What any good teacher will tell you is that that's sometimes exactly what that kid needs, is away from everybody, a de-escalation, some time to process. And I would say in any given year, it is totally appropriate, normal behavior for me to send 10% of my kids for a walk every once in a while, not punitive. Not because I can't take them anymore, but because they can't take us anymore. And they just need some separation. And so you tell them to go take a walk. That option isn't really as available, especially with young kids who can't go for a walk by themselves around the neighborhood and are locked in your apartment or condo or home for their own health, right? It's a good thing. So a fort or a closet or a hideaway or a corner of the basement or a cleaning out of the attic, there's real value in giving people some space and time to disengage, to de-escalate sometimes, or just to have some control over their stimulus. So if I'm saying that about kids, probably good for you too. One of the things I say in staff meetings all the time is, it's kind of like these kids are people. And I say that in a joking way to kind of jar sometimes the people I'm working with into like, oh yeah, and also people, adults. And I've never found an educational policy that made sense for adults but didn't make sense for kids, or vice versa, because we're all people. And so if we need to create some space and some privacy and some place to be more mindful and to slow down for our youngest students, you probably need it as well. I've taken to driving a little bit. I lie to myself and say it's because the car needs to run, but sometimes I just need to go for a drive and listen to that podcast I enjoyed when I was working, but I can't listen to in my house now, and it feels weird to have headphones. We as a family have carved out some spaces in what used to be communal spaces are now a little bit more for us. And so you might need that too. So if it's a walk, cool. But maybe it's a room or a corner or a chair and communicating that. So create that space and communicate, hey guys, when I'm here, I just need you to try and do this. And younger people have a hard time with this, some older ones too, but protect that. One of my former students, who's now a yoga instructor, has a wonderful name on social media, and it is Protect Your Peace. And I like that idea. And I think sometimes these small spaces, private little shelters, for us to shelter in place while we're sheltering in place, can be really good for our mental health, for our emotional health, and for our relationship health. Because sometimes we just need to take a break for the people we love. That same Sports Illustrated piece said, my family, who we all love each other very much, but we're having some hard times liking each other at moments during this. I mean, it's been 60 days. It's a long time. It's a long, long time. So I hope that you can find a way to create some space for yourself, to recognize the need for space for our younger friends, and to sometimes just let kids be, let them self-soothe a little bit and support them in that. That's my thing. Protect your peace. Create some space. Structure will follow behavior. So create a structure for some space, even if it's with cardboard and blankets. And honestly, like, who doesn't love a good fort? I'll give you a hint. The answer is nobody. Yeah, so that's today's episode. Tomorrow, 61, we'll have another one. Thanks so much for stopping by. Share if this made some sense for you. Let me know in the comments or on social media if there's something you'd like me to talk about. And I'll see you soon. Protect your peace.